I want to ask Chris Joyner and Mary Holland to join me first from Information Technology. Mary has 30 years of service with the County of Morris. Two quick statements about Mary, because I was also lucky enough for a year before Chris got promoted to division director to kind of be Mary's division director also. The one thing you should know about Mary, is Glenn in the room anymore? No, he's gone. Good. You wouldn't get a paycheck.
But he's going to watch it.
You wouldn't get a paycheck if it weren't for Mary Holland. She's the woman behind the man in payroll. She's Jim McKinley's right arm. Every morning I come in and I go, she's always sitting there and I wait. Good morning, Mary. And if I get, I know something's not good. If I get good morning, Grace, and she lets me just keep moving, okay, payroll's working. Mary's really smart, a huge help to me, a huge help to all of you. When you look at your paycheck, know that it's thanks to Mary Holland in a lot of ways. I'll let Chris take it from here.
Well, Mary's in the application group, has been for 30 years. One of her main responsibilities, as Grace said, is Kronos, mostly dealing with payroll side of Kronos, but she's there daily from Kronos. She also does MS Access databases, writes them and supports them. She does a little bit of ASP.NET, the web pages, dynamic web pages. She has a lot of patience. She's willing to learn. She's just a wonderful person.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'm going to ask Lynn Ulver from the library director, to join me. The other pleasure I get, besides personnel and IT and anything else Mr. Benani wants to throw at me, is the library. And it certainly is, like a lot of the directors have said, a place that's doing more with less and serving the community. And Lynn knows her people far better than I do and how hard they work. And you'll hear and see some of them on Unsung Hero Morris Minute, another plug, Carol and Jamie. But I'll let Lynn take over and help give the presentation for those employees.
Okay, thank you. Welcome. I would like to call up Loki V first. Loki's been with us for 25 years. In any public library, if you've gone into if you come to visit us or you go to a public library, you see a lot of people on the front lines. You meet people when you check books out and you meet librarians. But I want to tell you, there is a very special and very small select group of people you never get a chance to see. And that is part of what Loki does. And Loki works in tech services, and she is the behind the scenes. They are the people who actually put the books on the shelves, and one of Loki's special things is putting the Dewey call numbers on the books and getting the DVDs ready for the public. So none of that would happen if we didn't have Loki and her staff. And one of the things I want to mention about Loki is she is the first person I see when I go visit tech services. Her desk is right there, and she always greets me with a smile, and this makes me feel very welcome. And congratulations for 25 years. I'd like to call up Joanne Cronin. Also 25 years. Joanne is one of our reader services librarians, front lines, one of the first people you'll see if you need to find a book or if your kid is working on a project and they have no idea what books to read. She does a lot of readers advisory. We get a lot of people who come in and say, I like Westerns where they turn out happy and they need to be set in Idaho. And she actually, there's tools to do that, and she is a wizard with those tools. One of Joanne's special gifts is she manages our relationship with the State Library for the Center for the Blind and Handicapped. So low vision patrons and people who cannot get out, she also works with our Books by Mail program, are connected with Joanne, and she makes sure that everybody gets a chance to read. And part of these programs that's wonderful is we take the books out, or we mail the books out to our people who cannot visit the library. So Joanne does that. The other thing I want to mention is she is our poet in residence, and Joanne is a published poet, and she manages our writers group, and she does a fabulous job with that. And she's also one of the judges for our annual children's poetry contest. So thank you very much, and congratulations. Okay, and I'd like to call up Princess Thomas, 20 years. Princess wears many hats. She is our library's model, first of all. She was I guess, taken by Penny Jones, and when Penny asks, you can't say no. Anybody who knows her knows that. And Princess walked up and down the model runway with a purse, and so we thank you for that. She's really one of those employees that you can count on for any kind of off-the-wall kind of request. She's there and she's on it. Princess is the supervising librarian of our children's room, and she has done an absolute fabulous job working with children, maintaining programs, reading. One of the pleasures I have in the library is I get to sneak in. She doesn't always see me. I get to sneak in and kind of sit in the back and listen to her read to the children, and it's just such a pleasure. You should see. They are just so entranced. Princess is also really good at getting other of her colleagues to help her, and because children's department's real small, and so she gets our music librarian in there to do a live musical component to some of her story times. And on Thursday, she's managed to get a whole bunch of us to to volunteer time to have a special holiday party for our youngest patrons. So there's going to be face painting and live music and paper airplane building, which is great. If you've ever been to our building, you know you go up the stairs and it's wonderful. It's a great trajectory. So thank you for everything you've done. And I also want to mention that Princess was recently honored as one of the Morris County's Unsung Heroes. And that was for the Books for Kids annual drive. And this year we collected over almost 700 books that are going to be distributed to Morris Family Services and Habitat for Humanity and other local groups. So thank you so much. You do a fabulous job.